welcome back to part 2. Most of us daydream about a bit of adventure in our lives. We're about to meet some people who made that a reality. Graham, can you tell me how the concept of the Why Not Adventure Film Festival came about?
Absolutely. It came about through a friend of mine called Dahi, and Dahi Condon is his name. He's now in, where is he? He's now in Australia. So he decided one day, he was living out in Barna, and he used to cycle from Barna from his house there out to the pub where he worked, which is about 12 kilometres. And he was just cycling out there every day. And one day he got into his head that, you know what, I'm going to cycle to India. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. It's whatever, a bit of bar talk. You're not really going to cycle to India. And then, so he used the Barna cycle as his training. And it turned out that he really was going to cycle to India. So he did his planning, he did his prepping, and then just took off one day. And I was out surfing in Niski, and I remember just bobbing around in the surf thinking, wow, that story is just so inspiring. And Ireland has such a high pedigree of adventurers, like from Weekend Warriors through to legends like Shackleton. And I was like, more of those stories need to be told. And there wasn't really that many adventure film festivals in Ireland. There still isn't, and especially with an Irish twist. In fact, there's none really, apart from I'll give a shout out to Short Shots Irish Surf Festival. It's brilliant, but they feature surfing. So I decided I'd like to try this out, and that was in 2012. So Dahi made it as far as Iran, and they turned him back then. But the spirit of the festival lives on.
I was one of the speakers tonight, basically because I'm a completely ordinary guy that does extraordinary things. And basically I was there to try and inspire people, because I believe people will connect with me more on the stage than they will maybe the world's foremost climber on the stage, because I'm just a completely ordinary guy. What I do is I head into some of the most deepest wilderness areas we have on the planet, completely alone. I could spend a number of weeks there. I could hike many hundreds of kilometres while I'm there, and most of these places I had to go to are far above the Arctic Circle. I could be 300-400 kilometres above the Arctic Circle. And there's one particular trip I done that I spoke about tonight, was an Icelandic trip where I hiked across the Icelandic interior wilderness, north to south, maybe a 500-kilometre trip where I didn't meet any people. There's no tracks, no trails, and I am probably the first Irish person ever to have done it. In fact, when I was doing my research about this, I only found about a dozen people on the planet that have done it, and out of them dozen people, there was probably only 3 or 4 of them that done it solo.
On the 10th of the 10th, 2010, I was 20 stone, overweight, had been single for 2 years, very unhappy in my job, and suicidal. And I decided I couldn't continue in that way, and I made the decision to take my own life, and a series of incidents forced me to rethink that, and I decided I had to change something for the positive and try and make myself into a better person and make my situation into a better situation. So I wrote down a list of 10 things, taking inspiration from the date 10-10-10, and decided I would do 10 personal challenges over the course of 13 months. I gave myself a deadline of the 11th of the 11th, 2011. So to lose weight, go on a blind date every week, travel, get a new job, learn to swim, learn to cook, perform. I used to sing as a child, hadn't done it in years, so 10 open mic nights, and then a list of 10 sports events. So starting out with an 8-minute rowing competition, right through to triathlons, open water sea swims, cycling around New Zealand, and a marathon at the end of the year. So over the course of 13 months, everything on the list got done. 50 blind dates, 2 triathlons, 3 open water sea swims, and I just had an absolute ball doing it. And I suppose that it just developed into kind of a lifestyle, and my next set of challenges included the cycle around South America. And when I researched it, I found an event called the World Cycle Race, entered it, started it, and completed it, and ended up actually winning the competition.